Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Emotional freedom and emotional expression. Just be yourself. Like I said in the last video, I really believe there is a shift that's happening right now. Call it an energy shift from the universe or the solar system or the sun or whatever, but I'm starting to hear music shift into a more heart-based, emotional-based sound. You know what it is? It's raw. It's just free. It's people just expressing themselves, but it's being done in a different way. They're just feeling what they're feeling, and they're feeling comfortable with it, and they're just expressing it. It's not even like, okay, so that girl Cami Kehoe's young lady who's she's an upstart band right now. It's almost like emotions and feelings are starting to make a comeback right now. It's like we were shamed out of it going all the way back to the book of Genesis. You know, to shame you not to open up to your emotional system. But I think people are so tired of not just being themselves and doing what they want to do with their life that I think people just stopped caring. And I don't mean that in a bad way, like they don't care about people, but they just stopped giving a shit what people think. I mean, do you know how weak of a person you have to be to try to bring someone down simply because they're being themselves, simply because they're doing what they want to do with their life, or simply because you're just this miserable person who's too afraid to be yourself? So you feel like somehow you're the master of the universe, the God of all gods, and you got to walk around telling people who to be and how to conform and what to do, you know, what they can and cannot do. I mean, you have to be a real cowardly, weak person, because the fact of the matter is you're just not facing yourself. You're not looking at yourself and go, well, am I being myself? No, you're not. You think people are supposed to act like we're in jail or in prison, or we're supposed to conform to this certain way of being. And yet all I've heard is it's about diversity. Now, I grew up just outside of the Bay Area most of my life, and that's all you hear about, how it's diversity. You know, diversity is strength. Here's what I mean. Even in stocks, what do they tell you about investment? You need to diversify. Don't put all your money in one stock, because if that one stock goes bad, boom, you lose everything. So you want to diversify. You want to have different stocks in different areas. You don't want everything to be in the tech field or everything to be in this one segment of stocks. You want to diversify into different fields. It's the same thing in animal nature, human nature. You don't want your DNA to continually mate with the same exact DNA, because that weakens it. But when you mate with different DNA, it strengthens the human DNA, and it makes you smarter, it makes you more intelligent, and it makes you stronger and healthier, including your immune system, including creativity and art and music and science and everything. It's like, instead of shutting people down and saying you must conform to our way, allow people to go off in their own creative distance, their own creative path, and let them find out what they can find out, and then bring that information back to the table and say, hey, here's what I've created, here's what I've discovered, here's what I've found out. This adds to, call it the collective, this adds to our science, our math, our understanding of human behavior, of science, of space, of everything, of healing, of medicine, of anything you could even think of, is allowing people to go down their path, teach them what they need to learn, and then allow them to go on their self-discovery path. You know, the thing what I'm trying to say is humans will really get along a lot better if we just allow each other, really allow ourselves to just be ourselves. Okay, there's a very interesting dynamic that I began to experience, I'm going to say 20 years ago or so. So I really meditated for a long time, and I did a lot of energy healing and a lot of work on just allowing and letting go. So the techniques that I keep talking about, internal awareness techniques, emotional grounding techniques, is really how I began to develop this combined with the energy healing. So here's what I noticed. When I allowed myself to be in my own space, automatically that allowed other people to be in their own space. So when people come around me, all of a sudden, boom, they pop out of their ego, they pop out of their logic, and they just their awareness, their energy, their space expands wide open. So suddenly they're just comfortable in their own space, in their own body, and they're open.
Get closer.
And what happens is it allows people to experience themselves for who they truly are. Here's the really cool thing. I didn't do anything to them. I didn't even talk to them. You know, the interesting thing is everything I teach on this channel about narcissist abuse, about personal development, about energy healing, emotional healing, is the exact same things I teach in my course, Cracked Female Code for Men. It's all... Okay, here's where I developed all of this stuff. The people were like, well, how come you understand narcissist abuse so well? Like, the way you teach it is in such a... Not only a different way, but it's a lot of people come to this channel like, man, I've been listening to this stuff for years and I did not know that. I did not understand that. It's because of what I teach in the course Cracked Female Code. And the funny thing is, it's the same thing that I teach about the Bible. It's what I got from the Bible. So you're like, wait a minute, so the stuff you teach in your course to men is from the Bible? Yeah, it's directly from the Bible. The same thing. So now I transfer this information. So all of a sudden, when this narcissist abuse stuff came up, all of a sudden I was like, wow, like I could see it. And that's why a lot of you are attracted to this channel. And one of the main things is simply learning how to ground yourself and open up emotionally and allow your energy to expand open on its own. Not pushing, not pulling, but completely and totally letting go. From that open space, all of a sudden you start to understand things. You start to see things. You start to put the pieces together. I mean, the real key secret, and it's really not a secret, it's because you're open. You're allowing yourself to see it, to hear it, to feel it, to experience it. And now you know. So a lot of male clients, when they come to me, they're just like, so a lot of them have gone to the Tony Robbins relationship courses and Dr. John Gray and the pickup artist courses, and they've read books on dating, relationships, and communication. And then when they come and train with me, they're like, well, wait, where'd you read this stuff? I've never heard of any of this stuff. And my reply is, I didn't read it. I started to see it. I began to discover it simply because I learned how to open up, to receive, to feel it, to experience it, to see it, to hear it. Now that's going to lead to the next segment of this video and what this video is really about, is a lot of you that have suffered from narcissist abuse, including, empaths and avoidance and just good people, heart-based people, is our self-esteem essentially gets attacked. Now there's an energy dynamic that happens that the more conscious of it you are, the less it affects you, the more you can kind of push it away. So a few videos back, I don't remember which one, but I really talked about how we project ourselves onto other people and how people do that to us. Now narcissists are the most intense projectors because they're completely external. They're completely left brain. So what they are, they push it onto other people, and it's called superimposing. So imagine there's an image on the wall, like I'm looking at my Indian painting here. And instead of seeing the Indian painting, they're going to project an image on top of it, which blends in all this other stuff that has nothing to do with the Indian or the painting itself. And this is what narcissists do to you and me and other people. So now here's the deal though, because the other people aren't inside the narcissist's head projecting and looking through the projector, the narcissist has to painstakingly convince people and describe in detail and paint the picture for them and put that in their mind. And so if someone's coming up to you and they're really making effort and trying to get you to see something, or they're talking about someone, they want you to see them in a certain light, and they're working hard at it, like literally like they're superimposing another image over on top of them, that's how you know someone's bullshitting you. That's how you know somebody is trying to get you to see someone in the light that they want you to see them in. They go around to talking to people and putting time and energy and effort and say, oh, well, this person this and this person that. Well, can't you see it? I mean, look, he looked down at his shoe. That means he's a monster. Like, they'll make up the stupidest shit. But the problem is, your brain will fall for it if you don't know how to look for it. Now, the core of this video is about this. Okay, so we all know about energy. Now, when I talk about energy, I don't necessarily mean in this mystical, magical way. I literally mean electricity, like the electricity that beats your heart, the electricity that goes through your nerves, that goes through your brain, the electrical synapses and all the stuff that goes through your brain and your heart and your muscles. By the way, electricity is what makes your muscles work. So here's what happens. When people project their thoughts and or energy on you, you literally begin to feel it. Their energy is mixing with yours. The first thing that you need to begin to do and get really, really good at is you need to begin to decipher between your energy and their energy. And here's one example how I began to get good at this. I used to walk into a room full of people, or maybe the people just left an hour ago or half an hour ago, and boom, all of a sudden my emotions would change. So when I went to Starbucks, I started doing this when I'd go to coffee houses. I'd stop about 10-15 feet from the door and go, okay, how do I feel right now? It's like, okay, I feel fine. I'm in a good mood, or whatever mood, good or bad, doesn't matter. And I'd walk in the room and notice how it would shift, because I didn't catch it before. And I would get caught up in this energy, like, like, God, all of a sudden I'm sad and, or feeling guilty or shameful. And I remember just going, like, what is this? So as I was learning about energy healing and stuff, they would teach you, like, hey, you got to be careful. Like, that's not your energy. That's their energy. So, okay. I'm thinking of a very specific time. This is probably 12 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. I was going to Starbucks, and I was writing my book. And, I did stop and I kind of tuned in to my own energy. I brought my awareness back to me, which, by the way, grounds your energy. Now, being grounded, God, how to explain this? Well, okay, when you're really good at grounding your energy, when other people's energy sparks at you, it grounds that energy that comes to you. So all of a sudden you don't get all sparked up. Like, you ever seen electrical wires where, like, a bird will touch two lines at the same time, or they show a video of a monkey on one line reaching out and grab the other line, and there's like this huge electrical explosion. Well, when those electrical sparks come at you, if you're grounded, it doesn't affect you, because it automatically will ground that energy that touches you. So essentially you're grounding that energy, and the energy just flows. Now, when you become a really, really grounded person, people will gravitate towards you because they may not logically or consciously get it or understand it, but they're going to want to be around you. They're going to want to be in your energy, because if you're a truly grounded person, it grounds people that are around you. Now, I actually took a video. I don't think I ever uploaded this, showed it to you guys. Maybe I'll go out and do it again. But if you go to the electrical poles, or call them the telephone poles or whatever, but I'm talking about the electrical poles, I don't know if it's every fifth electrical pole or sixth or seventh or eighth, but there's a grounding wire that literally comes all the way down from the top and literally goes down into the earth. That keeps the energy flowing versus sparking. It's the same thing with your home. If you actually look at where you plug in your appliances and stuff into the wall, notice there's three holes. There's the positive and the positive and the negative electrical parts. But then on the bottom, there's a third one. That's the grounding wire. Your house, your apartment, the building you live in has a grounding wire that connects to every single plug-in. So if there's a surge in electricity, it keeps it grounded, or at least it's supposed to, and usually it does. Alright, so now the whole purpose of this video really comes down to this right now, is I want you to begin. Okay, so I went to Starbucks, I kind of grounded my energy, and this is all I did, and this is all you have to do. I just brought my awareness back to my heart, chest, belly area, and I began to just feel, notice, okay, what am I feeling right now? I was like, actually, I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm very calm, I'm relaxed. And just by bringing your awareness back to your body, that begins to ground your energy. Grounding your energy is actually something, it's like letting go. You're just bringing your awareness back inside, which brings your energy back inside. This is a form of grounding yourself. Now, there's a much more advanced techniques, but this is one of them. So you could literally go for a walk, and instead of looking across the street, you bring your awareness to your shoulders and your head area and the space around that. And just as you're looking around or looking forward, let's say, your awareness really should be on the space around your head and your shoulders and your upper back. As you and then say falling down your shoulders and the side of the top of your arm, begin to notice what you're feeling and begin to notice that space. That's all you have to do. I used to practice that for years. So I'm going to go back even further. So about my mid-20s, about 24, 25, I remember going down the road. I was going to my friend's house. I was in a really good mood. Couldn't wait to see him. I was going up and over the highway, over this bridge. And as I came down on the other side to the stoplight, I just suddenly started to feel emotions. And I'm like, what is this? And I went and told my friend Greg, and he's like, yeah, he goes, I have the same thing. He was like all of a sudden I'm going downtown, my emotions shift and nothing happened. I'm not listening to music. I didn't have a bad thought. Well, you're taking on other people's energy. So the way I got really good at this was, number one, doing grounding exercises for a long time. And then number two, then before I'd walk into, say, let's just examples of Starbucks, I would tune into my energy. It's like, I feel pretty good, or I'm feeling up, or I'm feeling medium, or I'm feeling calm or bad, or, whatever. And then when I walked into Starbucks, if my energy would shift, then because I'm paying attention to it, then I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. There was one time when I walked in and I felt really, really suddenly almost suicidally depressed and sad, like overwhelming emotions. And so what I did, I was like, okay, that's interesting. So I started looking around the room, and yep, I found the person. I walked over, I sat at the table next to them, and I just started doing my thing for about 15, 20 minutes. And then I gained rapport using matching and mirroring techniques. And I looked over at her and I said, you're feeling really sad today, aren't you? And she looked at me. And I said, you have an overwhelming sense of emotions about the pour out, aren't you? And she just started crying and she started sobbing, and I hugged her for a while, and she just started pouring out her heart. That was one of the first times, instead of getting caught up and going, oh, I'm feeling this way. It's like, no, you're not. You're feeling someone else's emotions and feelings. It's all energy. The really cool thing was, instead of getting caught up in it, because my awareness was on point, I realized, this isn't me. Who is it? And then at the same time, it allowed me to help this other person and stay in that grounded space that allowed her to release these emotions. So because I was grounded, it grounded her energy by simply interacting with her and allowing her to touch me. You don't necessarily have to hug someone, but if you're in close proximity, if you're really grounded, their energy can connect with that, and it'll help them to ground, and this can allow people to open up and release. So when I'm working with people, even if it's over the phone or through Zoom or whatever, this is the same process that happens. You're like, but Michael, they're on the other side of the world. It doesn't matter. So when I make the claim that pretty much no matter how bad you feel, within 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes 30 minutes, I can shift someone completely from this horrible emotional state they've been in for weeks, months, even years, and get this sigh of relief, and just like even to this open laughter and release of emotions and happiness and feeling confident and feeling grounded and just feeling like, another thing is just absolute clarity on the situation and just in life in general. So number one, because I've done so much integration work, which means healing a part, it comes back inside me and integrates with the core, and doing another. I've been doing this for 30 plus years now. Is the more you do that, the more of a healing conduit you become. Like, your presence heals people. A lot of people that have been on this channel for a while, I guarantee you have shifted over the last year, 2, 3 years. So when I work with people, and another example would be you guys being on this channel listening, is let me go to the working with the individual person. The more I work with them, it's like they keep getting conditioned into being grounded. So a lot of the teachings, so I ground my energy, your energy grounds with it, and you're like, oh, okay, and then I teach you how to do it yourself. So the more you work on that, the more you ground, the stronger that becomes. And suddenly your energy begins to flow better. Suddenly you begin to heal and integrate more and more of your parts. The healing process can begin to develop and grow into a much more powerful way of being versus constantly being stuck in your head and constantly stressing out over even sometimes little things. And another thing is, okay, how do I say this? The reason why you're having such traumatic experiences is you're not grounded, and so someone's energy comes into your field and boom, it just sparks this whole traumatic experience, and it causes trauma. So another thing is like, and then on top of that, people that are narcissistic or unhealthy, it's like they're attracted to your energy, because here's why. It's easy to suck the life out of you. It's easy to spark your energy, to take your energy, versus when you're really solid and grounded and they're like, oh shit, I can't affect this person. In fact, what happens is you begin to affect them. And they don't like that because it causes them to wake up and to look inside and go, oh, see, here's the deal. Empaths, avoidance, when you look inside, you're like, wow, I'm a really good person. On the outside was the stuff that was put on you, that was projected on you, that was superimposed on you. You begin to realize, oh, wait a minute, that's not me. Think of it like this. You're on the inside where you're pure, you're white, you're clean, you're a good person, your good spirit, and then you have this stuff put on the outside and you're taught, oh, that's who you are, and it's not. You're looking through something that's not you, that was superimposed onto you, that was lied, that was put on you. So essentially you just go from one layer of that into your core self, whereas a narcissist, they so completely disconnect from themselves. Not only do they come out of themselves, they also come out of, what's the word? So the layer on top of the negativity, they come out of that and then they disconnect completely. So imagine there's a ball and then around that ball is a layer of dirt or whatever, darkness. They come out of the ball, they go through the layer and they come out of the layer and then they distance themselves from all of that completely. So what happens to a narcissist when they come around a super empath, someone who's super grounded, they start to realize, holy shit, I've got to go through all that to get to myself. And they're like, no, I'm not doing that. They see, when you look inside, like, wow, I'm a good person. When a narcissist looks back at who they are, they're like, wow, I'm the one who's been a monster this whole time, and I've projected me and all my stuff onto everyone around me. And they're like, no, and they lose their shit. Like, no, I'm the good one. No, you're not. So the narcissist self-realization is a very painful one, because then they have to admit, see, here's the thing, they have to admit that they've been purposely doing this stuff to hurt other people, and that they've been purposely lying to themselves about themselves to other people. And in order to come back to themselves, the core them, they are going to have to accept responsibility for everything that they've done. They have to realize, holy shit, I'm a monster. I'm the one who's the bad guy here, and they don't want to do that. Whereas empaths, we kind of come to a point to like, yeah, I may not be a monster, but I can be a monster. Okay, so here's a couple of ways to separate yourself from other people's energy. So, how do I say this? Hold on. So number one, just bring your awareness back inside and tune into who you are, and then notice the feelings on the outside. That's not you. Alright, I'm going to give you another example, and again, it was at Starbucks. I began to notice, like, I could feel something, and then I could look around the room and go, shit, it's that person over there. Like, and I would start to grin, going, man, this is not me. So there's this discovery of realizing, wait, this is me, and this is not me. When you begin to become consciously aware of that, that is a very rewarding experience. So that alone right there pops you out of it. Now, it's all energy. It's like they project this energy. It's like, imagine salt in water. It's actual energy, but this is in the air, and you can feel it on you. So one way you can get rid of it other than that is take a salt bath. Any kind of salt. I prefer sea salt. You can do whatever. So I put in about 2 cups, maybe more of sea salt. You can do regular table salt. It doesn't matter. Epsom salts is another one that makes you feel good. This literally breaks down the energy. That's why when you go to the ocean, you swim in the ocean and get salt water all over you. You feel really refreshed. Even though you might be physically tired, you still feel fresh and alive. And you feel this way for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. You feel really alive. It's because salt disintegrates all the energy around you. It breaks up the energy. There's a new diet fad. I forget what it's called, but you use pink salt. You drink more pink salt, and I think you put lemons in it. I think it was honey and something else. I can't think of the name of the diet right now, but it helps you to lose weight too. But here's what it does. It breaks up the negative energy that's inside you as well. So I'm going to use another story, an example, a real life story to help you with this. So number one, what I want to say is just realize for right now, for a moment, that a lot of times the emotions and feelings like shame, etc., that's not you at all. That's being projected, and you started to feel it, and you're like, oh, I feel this way. Yeah, you might feel that way, but a lot of times I'm telling you, it's not you. It's someone pushing their projection onto you. Okay, so let me go there. All right, so that's the purpose, and I'm going to use the word point. Sorry, ladies, but that's the point of this video is people are pushing these thoughts because they're jealous of you, because they're insecure, because they're weak, because they're not talented, because they're too afraid to not only be themselves, they're too afraid to do what they want to do with their own lives. Instead, they just fit in, they conform, and now they're pissed off that they're miserable, they don't like themselves, now they're trapped in a marriage that they don't like, or they only did it because their church said so, or whatever. I'm not saying marriage is wrong or bad, that's not my point. What I'm saying is they made some decisions that they really didn't want to make because, well, everyone else is doing it, therefore I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do whatever, and they weren't decisions that they made. Now they're miserable, so now they get angry at people that they view of as free and happy and are going out there and thriving, and that really upsets them because they're not. So then they might look and stare at you and give you a dirty look, and all of a sudden you feel anger, you feel hurt, or you feel judgment or whatever. Well, that's what it may sound bad, but it's a really good thing. When you realize that's just their energy, you can literally say return to sender, or imagine the energy going all the way back into their forehead and down into filling up their brain and going down into their body. That's their energy. Return to sender. Literally say that and say it in your head or imagine it, and then physically imagine it going back to them. That's another way you can do it. For me, after being through this and doing the trainings and the healings and stuff, number one, I'm so grounded that it just doesn't affect me anymore. And that's a huge shift for me out of all the work I've done. And it's what happens is when it doesn't affect you, they're like, damn, this isn't working. So here's what happens is they begin to realize, like, this is me, and they're stuck with the misery. Like they're trying to offload their own misery onto someone else, and when they can't do it time and time again, it's like it brings up their own misery and it maximizes it, and now they're feeling even worse, and they're looking at you like, God, he still feels good. They give up not necessarily because they realize, oh, that can't affect them. They give up because they're realizing, like, this is causing them to realize this is who they are. And that's the one thing they're trying to hide from. Alright, so here's the experience I had. Now, I'd been pretty deep into energy healing for a good 12 years at this point. This was about 15 years ago. It was a while ago, probably more than that. Actually, it was more than that. And I was walking, and I remember my energy healer kept saying, like, look, Michael, like, people's energy can affect other people's energy, and you have to, don't get caught up in their energy. Oh, okay, for the longest time, it was kind of like a mythical thought to me. Like, okay, I wanted to believe, but I didn't really, because I didn't have a, even though I was going through these problems and having these experiences, I wasn't conscious of it. I couldn't see it. I didn't grasp the concept. It was like, at this point, it was just a concept. It was an idea. It was a nice thing to say, but I didn't get it. So enter Pigpen. Remember Pigpen? In Charlie Brown, this is literally essentially what the energy is like that I'm talking about. Like, he was surrounded by this ball of, it was like dust, right? And it was kind of depicted like with these little particles, and that's what it is. It's electrons, atoms, electrons, and particles of energy. Okay, and now here's the deal. The energy just isn't grounded. It's not cleansed. So taking a salt bath, poof, all this ping pong energy that's around you that's negative goes away. Negative could be shame. It could make you feel dirty. Okay, so I'm going to give you another example. So a salt bath is really good with this. Another way you can do it is rubbing alcohol. So I remember years ago I heard the athletes would use rubbing alcohol, like their physical therapists or whatever, the NFL football teams, and that they'd massage them with rubbing alcohol. I thought, God, it's kind of harsh. But let me tell you something. I tried it on myself, and man, I did it on the bottom of my feet, my calves, my legs, my back, my chest. You feel cleansed. You feel clean. And I'm telling you something, the rubbing alcohol also breaks up and completely cleans or destroys or whatever it is, negative energy. Now what I do is I keep a spray bottle, a small spray bottle, and I put a third rubbing alcohol in about third rubbing alcohol, maybe a little bit more, and then maybe the rest I'll put like it's filtered water, and then I'll put a couple drops of lavender oil, maybe about 6 drops into this thing, okay? Maybe just 6, 7, or 8, whatever you want. And I also put in some sea salt in there, okay? It's just 2 tablespoons or teaspoons or whatever. Just get some sea salt and you mix it up and let it settle till it all blends in. The salt disintegrates. So whenever I get this negative connection from someone when I get home, I'll spray myself with this bottle. Okay, like a lot of times I might feel this connection in my forehead, or my forehead will tighten, or I'll feel someone's energy and I can't get it off me. So I literally will spray the space around me. I'm spraying it at my face, above my head, my face, my chest, my ears, my back of my head, my back, and on my chest area. I'll just give it a couple of sprays here and there, and then I'll also do it to my hands, my forearms. Now when I'm doing energy healing, now watch this. It's kind of like superimposing. So what I'll do is, like, you could be in the Philippines or in China or Australia, and when I do my energy healing for you, I literally imagine you're here with me and I'm doing the cord, disconnecting cords, pulling cords out, cutting cords, and I open up your chakras. There's a series of things I'll do. It takes me quite a while, actually. I would say about this section about 45 minutes before I go into the healing work. Okay, so this is part of the healing work, but then there's some other pranic healing techniques that I'll use. And then what I'll do, once I cut all the cords, open up all your chakras, and then I'll spray this salt water, rubbing alcohol, lavender oil spray bottle that I made around the image that I have of you. Because I know this is going to completely cut all negative cords, completely ground and heal all of this negative pig pen energy. Now here's another thing that I do. Rubbing alcohol. I keep a bottle of rubbing alcohol at my home, in my car. Sometimes I'll bring it in my backpack, where if I go to, if I go for a bike ride or whatever. And if I feel negative energy, I'll literally rub it on the palms of my hand, especially, because that's a big chakra right there. And I'll rub it on my forehead, my throat, my heart area, my belly area, my chakras down there. And sometimes I'll rub it on my arms. So I'll just keep rubbing alcohol around in general. And what I might do is put up my hands, rub my hands together, and then kind of like wipe it over the top of my head, not quite putting it on maybe a little bit on my hair, and then I'll do it in my ears as well. Okay? These are just really good habits that I've developed over the years, and people are like, God, why is that guy always so happy? Because I'm constantly cutting cords and breaking up negative energy with other people. So let's get back to the pig pen. So I'm walking, now again, this is many, many years ago, more than 15 years ago, much more than 15 years ago. I'm walking down the street, going to the gym, and this guy's on the sidewalk, and I'm walking towards him, he's walking towards me, and I'm in a really, really good, and I mean really good mood. And as he gets closer, he's looking down, he's looking away, and I could tell I'm like, man, what's wrong with this guy? And I went from compassion to, as his energy field kind of got closer, I started getting angry towards him. And as he walked by, I'm like kind of looking at him, and he didn't even see my face. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell just happened? Why did I shift from being this really good mood and like, oh, there's a cool little guy, what's going on? And suddenly and I'm telling you, it was a shift. It's the pig pen energy, the bubble, or the energy around him. And what happened was, I got caught up in his energy, and I called my energy. I was like, oh my God, I get it. I understand what you're saying now. She goes, yes, do you now find, I was like, yes, oh my God, I had this real physical, visceral experience of what it means to take on someone's energy. I was extremely conscious of it. Now here's the deal. You can break up negative energy. And another thing is, he was working hard to create that energy. He had a belief. He probably had a memory from childhood, or probably a series of getting beaten up by his father, or taunted, or just whatever, belittled, and probably a combination of all three and more. So, but here's the thing though, he was holding on to this and really creating it to where he created this energy field around him, which was like Pigpen right here. And when someone walked into this energy field, they take it on. So in his mind, this is real because people are interacting. But the only reason why they're interacting with them like that is because your energy got mixed in with theirs. And then, that other person took it on, and now they're treating you this way. And most people say, that's funny because that person doesn't normally treat people like that. I've never seen them do that before. So here's what I'm trying to tell you for your energy field. You are creating your energy field on a daily basis. And yes, people will either get caught up in it or they'll be repelled by it. So this is why it's really important to learn internal awareness techniques to expand and open your energy, to let go of all negative feelings and all negative energy, electrons, atoms and all that stuff, so you can begin to create your energy. It's really important to stop and start thinking and imagining things that make you feel good. Because people, even the most worst person on the planet, let's say a prisoner or someone who's violent, they're going to walk by you and suddenly just start treating you well, and they don't even know why. So yes, it works in the other way as well. If you start to treat yourself better, if you start to create an energy field simply by watching comedy, looking at funny things, being positive, developing yourself, and getting in a really good mood, people can't help but get caught up in that energy. Because most people aren't very grounded, so if you're this grounded person with this great energy, people start to treat you that way. Whatever things you imagine, whatever you focus on is the energy field that you're creating in that moment. That's the way this all works. You do create your energy field. Get off social media. Stop listening to the negative stuff. If you're on social media, pass. Go to things that make you feel good, such as like videos of beautiful children making their parents laugh and very uplifting, positive things. Because what's going to happen, it's going to repel people that are so negative. They just don't believe that's real, and their energy field is repelled by it. The other thing it's going to do, it's going to attract people to treat you better, whether they're bad people or good people. The other thing it's going to do, it's going to attract people that have a similar energy field into your world, and all of a sudden you have synergy with really positive, uplifting people. This is the way this stuff works. You can change your life right now in this very moment. Choose it. Choose your life, select your life, and then go into that direction. Period. End of sentence. Read magazines about what you desire, think about what you desire, talk about what you desire, and go in the direction of what you desire, and that creates the energy field. God bless you guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, please click the like button, click subscribe, make a comment, and make a donation to this channel to help us out. There's a PayPal link right there in the description box, or buy one of my dating and relationship books. Alright guys, God bless you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.